Welcome to Update with Precious. It always suits my belly to bring on things where they happen for inside Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining me for wherever you day for the world. And today na Friday, so usually on Fridays they get very very full house. And with me inside the house today, na Mr. Ekeneobi. Mr. Ekeneobi, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Right?
I do you back.
I'm
I do
happy
you
to be
back
here.
as you do me. Well done, sir.
Eh?
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
Prince Francis Chilaka, you cut cap for me, now cut cap back. Prince Francis Chilaka, sir, thank you so much. I say make I ask on too. Any of una don't get the kind of problem what they get recently because if you like say
You
the
know,
power
don't you say I'm in partial darkness?
See,
hell,
I
Precious,
get partial darkness.
no, just go
sir.
there. No, just talk about NEPA, okay? As
But I
as
think they
NEPA
say
don't
power don't be okay since this administration.
When,
I mean,
when you go carry
NEPA.
person when a shovel you only sabi use carry nepa give her, what do you expect?
Attire now.
Eh? You carry person
Attire
never know
now.
don't know anything about electricity. Say make come dey manage electricity. If be like make you go carry person no be surgeon, make come do operation. That patient no go survive.
I swear
Now, wow,
down.
the matter critical because the weather and then the weather is not even very friendly. Well,
At
welcome. Thank you so
all.
much.
At all.
Thank you so much for joining me. We hope that by next week, thereabout, Barrister Same Adams can join us in the house. But let's run through some things that's trending in Nigeria very quickly. So, rumor has it that Vice President Hashim Shettima may not be in very, very good book of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his Oga at the top anymore. And they may likely dump him, especially in preparation for 2027 election. And we hear say that they consider either SGF Akume or former Speaker Dogara as people will be say then go fit use. We'll go talk about that matter soon. And just to also let us know, your INEC Chairman Makmood Yakubu finally bowed out today, saying they do again. He don't finally wash your hand come up for everything we concern INEC. But again, his tenure on the end now. His tenure supposed to end October, November. So was he sacked? Why the hurry? We're just in April. Why the hurry to let go of him? This matter too, we go talk about him. But then let's go to other issues. Yes. Atiku El-Rufai Tambuwal meet Buhari in Kaduna ahead of 2027 election. And many may be wondering, wait, if people say Buhari na colossal failure, why people get to go meet them to consult them before election? Is there something wrong with us? Or not just power grab? These are questions we people they ask, but we will still get to that conversation when the time reach. And then, oh, by the way, I'm not telling us say NBC don't ban Idris Abdulkarim's song. So I don't know whether any of you listen to them before they ban the song. Prince Francis Chilakasa, did you hear the song? Mr. Kenobi, did you by chance hear that music by
I just hear them small this
Abdulkarim?
morning. Small now I hear them. Just very small.
You wait more than ban and finish before you go hear us small.
No, not today. This morning now I hear them.
We'll go listen. Even that not go play the song, but we'll go talk about that matter. We'll go look at the lyrics of the song and to find out what's way good or bad. The song will make them ban them too, right? Then there is another very sad story that I don't want to say sad, but a story that popped out today where an Islamic cleric was defending death penalty for anybody who change religion. If you change religion, if they defend, say, then get the rights to give you death penalty. In Nigeria, that is a secular state, an Islamic cleric they defend death penalty for changing religion. Okay, we'll go talk about that matter. Make us say as it will take be. Then we'll move on to other issues. The Labour Party crisis today, as Arabambi don't explain why Lamidi Papa don't take over the Labour Party and why Lamidi Papa be the person where they good enough to take over the job. We'll come, look at that matter. But considering River State, I don't know if you heard earlier today, that the women of River State took to the streets of River State, said they no go do again. It's just that the difference, we say they no go half naked like Ogi women because of insecurity. They just say they need to do again. They say they don't tire. Say make them bring back their for them. Make Pharaoh let them go. So now AGF will be the Attorney General of the Federation. Probably when they tell Nigerians, say concerning the Rivers Emergency Rule, may they stop to interpret the law with political partisanship. When they interpret the law based on politics within their mind. When they interpret the law with open mind. And then Nnamdi Kanu's prophecies have been fulfilled. Now, so Nigerians then begin talk and IPOB say everything where you be saying talk, don't they fulfilled. Waiting be those things we don't they fulfilled. These are the matter them where we will begin look at one step at a time. So, first off, make I just brush up the River State matter we happened for the purpose of those will be no day earlier today when we get that story concerning River State. So, River State went today. For streets for inside River State talk they need to do again. They talk plenty things. So they say, wait, some placards when they carry save the worker. They say, wait, excuse me a minute. Why will our case be different? Is the case different? You know, say pastors they pray, say your case shall be different. But they can't say, now so their own can't use over different. Where make it go beat them like this? Because other states they practice democracy. It can't be say their own now military rule. They say, is the law different for River State? End justice and bring back our governor. Bring back Obara, save our democracy. Different placards they would carry. In fact, they say they don't tire to keep quiet. So it be like say government, they take their quietness for granted. And it got to a point where they stopped them because they were marching straight to the government house and they can't stop them for government for road. They not let them near government. That is, you don't understand. So their own government house, so they not let them near the government house. And remember, say who did the government house? Now Cross River State man. But they not let them near the government house. And they kukuma sit down for front, for middle of road. When they do their protest, say them kukuma they there, sit down. They cry, they pray, they made them bring back their government back for the state. So you can see the women there, so they sit down for grant, they lament, they talk, they pray, they protest, made them bring back their governor. All right. And a lot of things they wouldn't talk, then demand of the military rule for inside the state, then demand the exit of the military administrator. They say the man come, say it begin change people. Parastatals, begin come out heads of parastatals, agencies, begin come up people one by one. So not be say you say you they go bring peace for the state. When you go to bring peace for the state, how do you bring peace and then you remove all heads of parastatals? Begin change heads of parastatals. It's not enough that you stopped the governor, the president removed democratically elected people. Then you come now, every head of ministries, parastatals, then come begin put military administrators, administrators for on top of the government house and a local government. This now complaints where BC people they get. And people come they talk, say, which kind of thing it is. Mr. Ekenobi, would you like to chime in on this briefly before we move to other things? Concerning the River State matter and the fact say the people don't already speak out today, come out, especially their women. Because people will expect their men, people like Asari Dokubo, Ateke Tom, and the rest of them to be the people who go do this protest. But the way I say those people, they don't just unnecessarily calm. But Asari Dokubo calmness, people they fear and people say, wait, you know, see now President Tinubu friend, say Tinubu don't see him. It's not they don't touch his hands. This one when they unnecessarily calm. Because all the ginger when ginger don't quench finish. Now women take up the battle. Let me hear you chime in on this.
Well, if anybody says that about Asari, the person might not be wrong, right? Because Asari na anywhere where belle face, right? I mean, you give her money, you go scream your name. So in go tell you say na business
yes,
in
and FFK. You know, the
yeah,
person
of
where
course.
our passenger tell us we did like that now FFK. Say just give him food now, you go sing reggae.
You go just go sing your this thing. So I mean, because I mean he's a business person, right? And you know say anyhow when you look at Fubara no get power again. No matter how people shout, let them shout from now till tomorrow. If you understand the Nigerian political terrain, then you will know that Fubara has no power anymore. In fact, he might not even come back. He might not even
Fubara may
come back.
not come back again as governor.
He might not come back. Just watch it and see how things are going to pan out. Now that he's out, he just might not come back.
So a democratically elected governor would never come back to power? And what kind of precedence is that? What does it go mean for other governors then? Wait, be say make any president
for whatever it is, right? So the interest right now, I mean, because Bola Tinubu didn't just get up one day to do what he did. He had a very big backer, somebody whose interest he needed to really uphold. And he upheld it. Because, I mean, if it's another person, right, other than Wike, I don't think that person would have pulled that kind of string. But he had to do something because Wike is involved. Do you understand? He had to weigh the pros and the cons.
divulge that, even with the complaints, lawyers don't carry and go ECOWAS court. People don't even tell ECOWAS to come out as chairman because they encourage democracy. So you think with all of this, he can sustain this for 2 years? He can sustain this for 2 years?
You talk about democracy. Democracy is in theory, right? It's on paper. In practice, we are practicing what is not known to dictionary. The word is yet to be conceived. I'm telling you. All right? I mean, because what we do every day, I'm telling you, what we do every day, you can't really describe a name. You can't attach the name to it. Nigeria has bastardized, even in Africa, right? Every other country like Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, they seem to be practicing a quasi kind of democracy, okay, or what looks like it. But Nigeria seems to be doing not just the opposite, but even creating problems that even the world cannot even solve. So we have a type of governance, a type of government that you can't really put a name to. That's what I'm trying to say. Any way you like, take Bola Tinubu to ECOWAS, Hague, wherever you want to go to, even take him to United Nations, it wouldn't change anything. Because the type of government we practice here, or politics we practice here, is such that it's all about personal aggrandizement and personal interest. And because that is entrenched in the system, there is nothing you can do about what is happening now. Wike's interest must be protected as far as River State is concerned. Fubara, like I said, didn't understand from the get-go the politics of River State, especially where Wike is involved. If it's another personality that was a former governor and then had to bring him, maybe he would have defeated him like who is that? This former Akwa Ibom State governor, Emmanuel Udom, you understand, dealt with Akpabio. It's because of the defeat, if you like, that Akpabio faced in the hands of Udom that made him to embrace APC, okay, to be able to bounce back into power.
We don't agree for him.
No, agree for him. As far as PDP was concerned, Akpabio was nicely ousted in that state. And then he was able to eat the humble pie.
There was no problem.
There was no problem. He saw it, and he couldn't. In fact, before he realized what was happening, he was already midstream. Like he was already getting drowned, and there was nothing he could do. We knew when he went to London to meet Buhari.
So what? Now him bring Udom power. Now him bring Udom.
Now him bring him. Now no be Udom na banker now. No be banker before Zenith before him bring him. That's what we're trying to say. So Fubara did not do his calculation properly. You understand? And he never knew Wike's type. Wike, in the history of River State, all the people that have been governors, right, up until when Wike came in, none of them had pulled the kind of power, okay, that Wike had. And Wike, fortunately for him, became relevant in this administration, not just any kind of minister. He became FCT. So he was very strategic.
By the kind of power he pulls, is it because he rigged the election in favor of President Bola Tinubu?
Because literally, if you ask me, right, there has never been any president. There have never been any president that ruled this country that didn't win the 4 swing states in Nigeria, which were, if you count them, Kano, Lagos, FCT, which is Abuja, and then Port Harcourt, River State. He lost, Bola Tinubu lost in Kano, Lagos, FCT. So River State was like the last state that if he didn't quite win it, I'm not sure Supreme Court would have given him.
Does that the fact that Wike was able to rig the votes of Rivers people who in their numbers voted for Labour Party. It was obvious, right?
Exactly, even different it was Labour Party that won it.
Reported on absolutely. That won the election. The fact that Wike was able to upturn people's results and gave it to Bola Tinubu, does that make him a powerful person? That's like we're glorifying criminality.
That is what has made him the most powerful person in this administration, because after Bola Tinubu, the next person you will see that is the next most powerful person in Aso Rock is Wike. Even Shettima acknowledges it. Everybody knows. But that said, so what is happening in River State is, look, no matter where they take him to, the strategy, that was why it wasn't long. By the time they looked at what the cards, like a script written, yeah? So they tried to pull this and pull that, and then it got to a level where it became very strong. Because even when the Supreme Court gave the judgment, right, you will see that the House of Assembly members tried to play hard. But they knew that if they tried to play, hide and seek, where the governor was trying to approach them with peace and they were not available, people will begin to blame them. Okay? That was why they had to, look at the third method of their game to say, look, let's do this one. This one will make more sense. Now, this emergency rule that is on ground now, since they've ousted the governor or, either suspended him, and then the constitution in River State, there is nothing else anybody would tell me. You see, the first 6 months they gave him was a strategy. Okay, maybe enshrined by the law to say, you first stay there for 6 months, go there and make peace. That was the first, and now he has gone there he's even acting like elected governor. He's even acting like he is elected, like
doing project.
Exactly. Doing project, appointing people, dismantling things and everything. That's to tell you that, look, this man is not ready to leave that office. He's not. He will be there till 2027. So wherever this protest that is coming on now with regards to River State women, they will only try, at least let the world see them, but nothing will come out of it. I can tell you that for free.
All right, Prince Francis Chilak, I'm sure you heard what Mr. Kenobi said. He say for Barani they come back again. Say go. Say
don't go. That is being succinct. I'm just being succinct.
Let me start from where Ekene said something that got me laughing. Ekene says that he doesn't understand what we are practicing in Nigeria. That actually we're not practicing democracy. But I want to disagree with Ekene. We are practicing a system of government known as a miloko. It is my turn. My turn. That is a system of government by which you spend 30 years getting ready to rule the people. That is the kind of system we are practicing. So unfortunately, that Emiloko system is not working because of the diversity of the Nigerian state. And the person who came up with that theory of Emiloko system of governance did not take into consideration the fact that Nigeria is made up of about 371 languages and ethnic groups. So that is where the first problem is. Now, going a step further, talking about River State, when people talk about state of emergency, and you talk about the man who has been suspended coming back, you ask yourself, all these women that are coming out now, is this the right time for them to have come out?
Very good question.
Ought to have come out the very day that pronouncement was made.
They've been protesting, though. They've been protesting.
Look everywhere to make sure that the man does not have access to government house. In Nigeria, we need to learn how to protest like the Chinese.
Okay, so
the Chinese will sit on the road.
Let me step in there for them briefly. The excuse I got is that they said their governors, but I warned and begged everybody not to let them kill anybody.
You see this precious, hold on.
He said the governor did what? Sorry about that.
You see this language, make it no one blood, it no one violence. Now the thing will put us where we did today. If as at that time, Yakubu was announcing the result, and the likes of Dino Malaya and others walked out, if P2B had told Nigerians at that time that this result is not acceptable, I am telling you, the result would not have been accepted. Gentlemanness does not work in Nigerian politics. Let us say the gospel truth. You cannot be doing politics with somebody like Wike. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and you are bringing gentlemanness, then you must be sick in your head. A man who told you that what he understands is grab it, pick it, grab it and run. You think that person has any sense of decorum? It does not. So for me, whatever is happening in Rivers, it's sweet for body. If you tuna. People thought Asari Dokubo would do anything. Asari Dokubo now wear belle face. If football come back tomorrow now, you go see Asari Dokubo go begin doing normal TikTok talk. You go TikTok, go do your own gara. If now 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira make from TikTok from view, you go kind of put for pocket.
I'm not believing.
So we need to be sincere. We need to be sincere with ourselves. When we're talking about moving this country forward, I keep saying it, that unfortunately the people we have as leaders in this country do not understand what it means to build a nation. One, they do not understand what patriotism is. The only thing that brings Nigerian politicians together is when they are about to loot. You will only see a Nigerian politician shouting, this government is not working, this policy is not working, when that person has been disenfranchised from looting. So we need to be sincere with ourselves. Yes, the women have expressed themselves, but the man you have there is a military man. So tell me, what do you think they will do? And then for your SGF coming to tell you not to interpret the court judgments, is it the duty of me and you? Is it the duty of me and you, Ekene, to interpret judgment of the court? At what point in time did we become interpreters? Why is it that it is in this regime, in this government, that people are giving different interpretations to a court ruling? So that shows you that something is fundamentally wrong. If we go to claim I sue Ekene to court, and I get a court judgment that says Ekene is guilty, Ekene should pay this, then it is now my duty, or the duty of my people around me, to now interpret the judgment to Ekene, of Ekene, people around Ekene, to interpret the judgment. I mean, what is going on? What is going on? It means that the judiciary itself is completely messed up.
Big time.
The judiciary has lost it.
Oh dear, I think that's network will not let you. Hello, sir, are you there? Hello, sir. Okay, Mr. Kenne, can you hear me? Are you here, please, just to be sure?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
So whilst we wait for him to join back, let's quickly attend to the case of Makmood Yakubu. Some would say the man will bring us here where we are now. Who put us in where we are right now? Who brought us where we are right now? So let's talk about his case now. You would recall that Makmood Yakubu was appointed by former President Muhammadu Buhari. And I think that was sometime on the 9th of November 2015, the year he assumed office, right? He was appointed by former President Muhammadu Buhari for a 5-year tenure, because I think the tenureship of INEC Chairman in Nigeria is 5 years. And sometime in 2020, he renewed his tenure for a second time. So, if his tenure has been renewed from November 2015 to 2020 November, one tenure, and 2020 to 2025, his tenure is supposed to expire in November 2025. That's November this year. Yeah. However, you know that we started hearing it since from the graveyard. It doesn't like gossip. You see, these Nigerians they say almost, in fact, Nigeria be the typical example of every atom of in every rumor there's an atom of truth. Because when he was making the round that they are likely to change Makmood, they're likely to change it, the presidency denied it. Makmood denied it. Next thing, we even saw the Makmood hold a weekly meeting. Was it on Monday or Tuesday? He held INEC weekly meeting with his team, and that everything is okay. So people said, oh, he did not go again. He's holding weekly meeting with them. When he reached Wednesday or so, where Labour Party people won't go visit, now can you say one acting INEC chairman with a Yoruba name be the person we attend to them. They say, what's going on here? Atisa na say just yesterday I tell us saying no go, Makmood no go, say still day, and he hold weekly meeting. Then only within one day, another person don't come become INEC chairman. What do you think is going on? Because now Makmood Yakubu has now confirmed that he's no longer the INEC chairman and that his tenure has finished and he's leaving. But like I said, his tenure is due for November, not now. Due for November, not now. Why do you think there's a hurry to push him aside? Because 2027 is still far after all. What could be happening? Now, there are lots of, backyard talks. People, they say, okay, maybe been done too much pressure to promote Natasha, you understand, to recall Natasha, and Inogo recall Natasha, saying that will be one of your friends. But I do know, for somebody who many, including international communities, feel they talk, say, he rig election to favor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For somebody who may have taken the risk to rig election, because if he, as the head of the umpire, the electoral umpire, saying the election go dey free and fair, right? So for somebody where if in rigo, if not so it take be, may have risked his life to rig the election on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What is recalling Natasha? That one is it not such a small fry? Why should that be a reason or an excuse for him to be pushed away? What do you think is happening?
Okay, so what I think is, well, Natasha angle coming to the whole fray, I don't think that is anything to fathom, yeah. But Nigeria always allow people to speculate, always allow people to fill in the gaps, all right, especially when things happens, because the officials of the government have never been accountable to the people. They don't put the cards on the table for people to see. They always tend to lie. They always tend to do stuff that would show that, look, they are not sincere. And because of that, people will always have things to say to fill up the gaps created. What I think is happening is the fact that Mahmood has done his job. He did the unthinkable, and that unthinkable was able to stand. Now that the president is looking at going for second term, the likelihood of him playing the same role might not just be tenable. There will be need. There is the need to let him step aside and another person do the job will be very much rife. And that's exactly what is going on. My own thinking, because everybody is coming up with what they are thinking. So my permutation in this particular development is that they need a new person to play the next role so that the load on Mahmood will be lessened, because the one he did in 2023 is still pretty much giving him, I'm sure sometimes in his quiet moment, he usually entertains some level of migraine, but yeah, so he deals with it by himself, giving him another, because 2027 is becoming, he's already gathering some kind of gunpowder that would explode. And I'm sure Mahmoud would have also told the president, look, I can't carry this at the moment. If you can get another person, that will be fine. Either way, or the president would have told himself, look, there is need to get another person to just get the job done. So it's the right thing to do, if you ask me. Yeah, normally his tenure would have expired in November, but to get him out now would make sense, so that whoever that will replace him will start on time. Because right now they've started talking about politics. Politics is already in the fray, and the new person that will come will have to get accustomed to the things that they are planning and how things are going to be done and stuff like that. So it's for me, it's just to let him go to rest. Because I remember when 2020, when he declared that result, a whole lot happened to him. Even his house in the north was kind of touched. His life was threatened. A whole lot of things happened. Nigerians were very angry with him. And he got, even the thing affected his health. That a man that used to be very robust, good looking, and all of that went old all of a sudden like that because the pressure was on. Even though he was able to pull it through because this is Nigeria. Usually people will huff and puff, and at the end of the day, they won't really do the actual thing. So I don't think he was ready to go through that whole hog this second time. So the need for him to step aside was necessary, and that's exactly what I think is going on now.
So, Prince Francis Chilaka, would you like to chime in on that?
I think also that when you're doing a hatchet man job, it's like if it's like when you engage an assassin to take out somebody.
Oh dear, sincere apologies. Network not let you at all today. Oh, I'm so sorry, Prince Francis Chilaka. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is an opportunity for me to just let you guys know if this is your first time of joining us, please kindly click on the subscription button. Or subscribe, follow us like your village people, because we do this every day, twice daily, in the afternoon and in the evening. We're always live to discuss everything when they happen for Inside Nigeria with us. So if this is your first time of joining us, please kindly click on the subscription button and follow us, and also click on the the notification button so that you know every time that we come on air. Make it for free, follow us to they know what's in they happen for Inside. Watch that. For those who didn't watch our previous video, our previous live, let me quickly bring you up to speed with the protest, some of the footages from the protest that happened this afternoon in Rivers State. Watch it. All right, thank you. Sorry, network no let you at all today. I don't know what you do then. So kindly help us continue with that thought where even they give us. No vex.
Yeah, so I was saying that Nigeria is a country where when you employ an assassin in the world and he goes for the kill and maybe he doesn't kill the person, you will never want the person to continue with that job. Even if he kills somebody and then the person he killed has a son that they didn't see, they will still not send the same old assassin. They'll get a new assassin. So as it is, Yakubu has done what he's supposed to do in 2023. And for them to perfect the plan for 2027, I believe that this is the right time to put somebody who can actually understudy him and understand the rudiments of how the system works. The problem with this country is that I've always said that behind every rumor in government, there's an element of truth. You saw how the rumor came out that he has been removed from office, he has been sacked, And then the next day, the government did the normal kind of game that Abacha and late Abacha and INEC used to do. They say, oh, no. He's holding a meeting. He's in charge. He's holding a meeting. And they showed him to all Nigerians that he's in charge. But then the next day, what happens? But I think like Kenneth said, the man has gotten it up his sleeves and couldn't afford to tell lies anymore. And he has also realized that he has fallen out with government. Because I'll tell you the truth, Kenneth. This recall of Natasha that didn't happen is something that has made government to start questioning the loyalty of Yakubu. Because those who plotted that callback had already made up their mind. They had factured, they have checked everything, and they believed that it was going to work perfectly. But what they didn't take into cognizance is the fact that Natasha will come through the air into her constituency. So the crowd that welcomed her made it impossible for INEC to go ahead with that process. And so if you don't go ahead with the process, of what use are you to the government? So these are issues.
Mr. Kenneth, kindly unmute. You're muted. You're muted from your end. You're muted from your end. Please check it. Unmute from your end, Mr. Kenneth.
Good. So sorry. If anybody uses that to judge INEC, right, that person will not be sincere to himself, because recalling of Natasha is procedural, and you can't blame INEC if INEC, for instance, the submission of signatures and addresses and stuff like that was incomplete. You need to verify those. It has procedure. So I don't think.
No, but at what point? At what point did INEC start the verification? Don't forget that INEC was also the one that was guiding the applicants. They were the ones guiding them.
INEC told them what they should have done. He told them, which was wrong, because INEC wasn't supposed to do that. But it was still a very mountainous task for them to follow through. So anybody using that to judge,
I disagree with you. Now we can recall anybody recallable. That is what it is. Anybody that does anyhow will recall you. I am even going to start process of recalling some people from my own constituency.
No, but who have you ever recalled since we started this democracy?
Listen, the only thing that saved Natasha was the fact that she came through the air.
Yes.
That was her savior. Now let me see if I want to recall somebody and the person does not have money to hire helicopter. Let me see how the person will enter the constituency.
But coming through helicopter and recall doesn't have any connect.
Yes, it doesn't have anything to do with her.
It has. If Natasha was unable, honestly speaking, if Natasha was unable to enter her constituency,
yes,
I am telling you, this recall would have been done with by now.
No. It has a lot of stages. They haven't even started.
Is it not in Nigeria that number 4 became number 1? Is it not in this country that number 4 became number 1? Is it not in this country, in your own state, in your state, number 4, beat number 3, beat number 2, remove number 1, and took off.
So it's no longer your state.
Anything is possible with the political class.
Listen, I'm a British citizen. I'm not from that state, Biko.
Kanu is the British citizen.
Since you have a dual citizenship, you should be appointed an ambassador, because all the ambassadors being appointed, they have dual citizenship.
They talk to ambassadors, including commissioner, including ministers. Remember that what's his name was saying it now? And Ndume was saying that most of the senators, most of the ministers appointed, including heads of parastatals, appointed by this particular administration, most of them have dual citizenships. He was saying that. So he says that.
In conclusion of Rivers State, Let us be very honest with ourselves. It will not take me by surprise if the government decides tomorrow to justify the state of emergency by declaring a state of emergency in Borno and Zamfara state.
They're already calling for that of Zamfara
Watch out
state.
and see.
And they're ignoring Benue
Yes.
state. I hear that Akume and the governor are not in good terms. They're not looking at that though. They're not looking at some states that are their core states. Ondo state is on fire.
Those states have no vote.
States.
Those states don't have vote. You saw the way they handled Lagos State. Why did they declare state of emergency in Lagos? Because Lagos is already captured.
No, who declared? Who declared? They declared the order now.
See, what has happened in Rivers State is that Rivers State has been captured. They don't capture on Atakam, keeping on one side. That is what has happened in Rivers. So if the women like, let them go naked on the streets of Port Harcourt. I am telling you, nothing will happen. What the government will do, that your military administrator, he will go to the market and buy wrapper to cover the women. That is all he will do.
I'm telling you. Nothing will happen though. Don't change anything.
So you guys have given up on our states like that. So nothing will change up. Okay, so since we're still talking about River State, I mentioned this in the afternoon. I just want to, I'd like to quickly chime in on this before we move on. We've talked about Yakubu, we've talked about River State, but since we're still just remember the River State case. So earlier today, while I was live, I talked about the fact that you remember that the Supreme Court threw away, in fact, mentioned that more like deliberately, how do I put that word? More like stylishly, subtly handle the case that is not yet within their jurisdiction, because that case is still at the lower courts. That is the case that dealt with the validity of the 27 lawmakers that decamped from PDP to APC. And the court said that Fubara and others were not able to prove that Amehula had decamped from PDP. That is the 27 lawmakers led by Amehula had decamped from PDP to APC. So because of that, but they showed footages of saying it. They admitted these footages were footages of Amehula himself saying that we have decamped. And court is not saying it's not enough. Say therefore bring their voters, what do they call them? Party cards, party membership cards for APC to show say they don't go. Wow. So again, people are now worried. Are we saying that video evidences from people who are responsible for these actions are not enough in Nigerian's court of law? Now let's take a watch briefly of where he himself, Amehula, mentioned about their decamping. Even the APC chairman in River State, Okorocha, also affirmed that they are now his members. And then in the same breath, he Amehula again now opened his Koro eye to tell us that there was no time we decamped. We didn't decamp. There was no time we even made a move to decamp. That is, this one lie way because say they lie, they close eye, the liar. This one you open eye, koro, they tell us. So I want to understand what that means. Let's quickly watch.
For December 11, 2023, 9 these lawmakers and 27 of them from River State decamped from PDP to APC, citing the problem with the PDP. And even here na Martin Amehula when they talk and they cite and quote a particular section 11 of the 1999 Constitution. Listen to
109 and. The House has already, before this time, deliberated on all the issues in the PDP, and we feel there is sufficient division, and for that reason, members have a choice to move to the All Progressive Congress, as already indicated in these letters.
And this is not enough. Let's hear what he said next.
27 of us in the State House of Assembly never defected to any other party. We were elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, and we never defected. We never took any step to defect to any other party.
They are members of the All Progressive Congress, and by that very fact, I am their chairman, and so they are within my presence of authority. They are under my presence. They are under the umbrella called, or the broom, whatever, because maybe we won't be given to speak English. When we say umbrella now, they will think we are talking about PDP. They are under the broom called APC. And if they're under the broom called APC, I am in charge.
Some days ago, we defected inside the Hallowed Chamber of the River State House of Assembly in line with Section 109 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. We made sure that we followed due process.
You know, be a beg. This kind of open day broadly lies like this. What you will call out for Nigeria? In a sane society, because you say be British citizen here, so make a take you up. But where you they hold their passport, I beg no vex. If this kind of thing happened there, what some people go do when they see a person lie like this, come talk another one again. What be the ideal thing what people supposed to do in a sane society?
Okay, so let me start by saying that politics has gotten to, especially the type of politics that we play, it's gotten to that level where sometimes one would try to push the ladder, all right, push it to the extreme where people can assume anything they want, but you're pushing them. On the other hand, you're holding one thing that if push comes to shove, you still come back to where you started from. And then if you get to the court of law, for a layman, the person may not understand, all right? You get to that level where you go to court, you hold what is important. That if the judge asks you to present, you can present certain things that contradicts all the fanfare, all the videos, all the statements, everything that people may have seen to conclude that so XYZ was happening, but you were only trying to push them. Let me give you an example. So you find that politics, even with the way Donald Trump has played the politics in America, sometimes he says some things that are so controversial because he wants attention. He wants camera to be beamed on him. He wants the media to talk about him, good or bad. He wants to corner all the discourse, in the space to be about him. He wants everything to be about him. He may be saying all the things you might consider wrong. And then people are wondering, why is this man talking like this? But guess what? Anytime he comes out, the whole media will be on him. It's a strategy. Wike is also playing that. In fact, even our president played that to a very large extent. All the time prior to his inauguration or winning the election and his inauguration, he was always behaving as if in fact, he even fell at sometimes. You understand? He would just, kick against something and then he would tumble. People would laugh and say, Bala blue, Bala this, Bala that. People were laughing. But he was pushing his own luck and then pushing his strategy. Since he was inaugurated and then even he fell on the stage, people started wondering, is this the person that wants to rule us and all of that? Since that time, has there been any form of fall again? No. Wike the other day, they pulled the stunt of him having either a stroke or whatever. He fell, they rushed him to the hospital. It was a strategy. I'm just doing my permutation. You see this Amehule and his own team.
Let me play you this to prove if this is a strategy by Wike or not. You're seeing the way Wike is working. Does that look like a strategy? Is this a strategy? That full step. Is that a full step?
Okay, so let me like you said.
There's also another one here. Let me show you another one. This
good.
One here.
I've seen that.
With that hand.
Good.
Is that a strategy? Yeah. So
good.
You think that's a strategy?
No, I'm not saying. Okay, so this is one. Okay, like Wike said, even when they told the media, they told the whole world that he fell or he's sick. He said, "Look, it's a human being that will be sick.
Naturally.
When you talk about sickness, sickness can only deal with human beings, and he is human. He's not spirit. So I don't want to talk about whether even if he has stroke tomorrow. That to me is what any human being can face. It's not a big deal. Do you understand what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is that politicians who are very extreme, who knows what today's politics is talking about, especially when they have some kind of idiosyncrasy, the way they behave, they tend to push their luck. Amehule everybody saw the video, all the things they said, where different fora that spoke and stuff like that. Yeah. But if Supreme Court, I'm not a lawyer, and we are obviously not lawyers. I wish Barrister Sim is here. Okay,
I'm sure he can.
good to be able to beam more searchlight on this. But let's look at.
Barrister Sim is a wicked man, so he will never see anything wrong with all that. Don't
No,
worry.
no, he has to interpret the law. No, he has to interpret the law. We're not even talking about Wike here now. We're talking about Amehule and the law. You looked at what the Supreme Court said, how they gave ruling to now this countenance, the fact that what seemed to be very obvious is no longer obvious. I mean, it's like all the things you guys played in our faces and stuff like that, which we assume that any court would have used to give judgment. The judgment went to the other side. What is going on? So I feel like there may be something in the law, which I don't know, that says if you don't do this, maybe they didn't do it. The reason why they're asking for their party card and stuff like that, because the question is, if you leave PDP, like if they claim they left, can PDP in Rivers State confirm from their different local governments where they registered that they've left? And can APC in their localities confirm that they've issued them a new ID card? This is how to know that people have left. If people are not talking about this,
I disagree with you. Everybody that has jumped ship in terms of a politician has jumped ship in Nigeria, it has always been two ways. You have a press conference and the new party welcomes you.
That's one. That's not backed by law.
The issue of the issue of fire card does not come up, especially when you are decamping. I have checked through all people that have decamped. Okay, for instance, what's his name? Jandor has decamped. He said he has left PDP. He has gone to APC. They went to Saudi Arabia
today.
They went to Saudi Arabia to receive him into the party. It's in the news.
But he's left now.
The GAC welcomed him today. The GAC, the governing council, welcomed him.
Yes, they welcomed him in Saudi Arabia, not in Nigeria.
He has done all the groundwork.
And his cronies came out openly.
All the groundworks. It was the same way he left APC for PDP to contest governorship. Okay, he went to he was able to remove his name. His name was delisted from the register of APC when he moved to PDP. That made him to contest under that platform. Now that he's left PDP back to APC, that process would have to go through. He will have to remove his name from the same register of PDP and then back to APC. All I'm saying is that all of the times that Amehule was doing all of these things, making videos and all that, did they check if he left, 27 of them left PDP and they've been delisted from their register and now moved to APC, where APC had issued them cards? That may be the basis that the Supreme Court gave the judgment. That's what I'm saying, because we didn't know that until it is confirmed by a competent lawyer. Then we will know.
Oh dear. So you're trying to say that we should not, that the mouth, that is what you say that you have done by yourself, by your own mouth, is not enough to hold you accountable.
No.
Until they see the result of the action.
No, if I tell you I am married to, let's say, Chilaka's wife, and I make video, okay, but I haven't really done traditional marriage, taking Chilaka's wife away from him to perform those rites, she's not my wife. Even though I make video that, I made video that even if you see me and Chilaka's wife, I'm just giving an example, in videos and stuff like that, that doesn't make her my wife until I do the necessary things. So I feel like it's a stunt that they pulled just to test the waters, to see what people were going to say or how it was going to, the kind of optics it will have. And obviously, it didn't quite have a good one. And they knew what they were doing. And that's the reason why they are still there. All this going to court to go and, because there's a way you push the governor. They knew that them and the governor came from the same camp. So the governor knows their strategy. The ones they did was quite a new idea to be able to allow people to, he'll advise the governor so that he can be able to push them to a level where they will not go to court. You can see that everything the governor did, they used the court side of things to be able to dismantle everything. And now the governor is decapitated. That's what I'm trying to say. Rightly or wrongly, but until a competent lawyer comes to interpret
and you
what
also
exactly.
just like this message has just brought in it. Remember that after that they went to court to swear an affidavit about leaving.
To swear an
So
affidavit.
even its own, yes, they swore an affidavit of leaving PDP. So that is also not enough to hold them accountable. But
Well, if they did, I'm looking at the fact that Supreme Court gave judgment based on the fact that there was something that they premised their judgment on, okay, to give judgment in their favor. That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So before we get to the change of vice president and the subtle wahala between President Bola Tinubu and Shettima, if there is any, let's get to the visit of Atiku Abubakar, El-Rufai, Tambowal, and the rest of them to President Buhari. So they met with Buhari at his residence in Kaduna State. Now, it was disclosed by a staunch supporter of El-Rufai, and in fact, he wrote that Malam El-Rufai, together with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Aminu Tambuwa, and other dignitaries, visited former President Muhammadu Buhari at his Kaduna residence. He said El-Rufai's endless respect for Buhari is priceless, even with the best effort of Garba Shehu. Meanwhile, Atiku, El-Rufai, and Tambuwa had stormed Kaduna State to meet with opposition leaders in the state. Atiku, El-Rufai, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party had formed a coalition with the aim of removing President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Atiku announced it, of course, you know the rest of the story. So, to what do we owe all of this visits and all of those? And would it yield any results, considering that Bola Tinubu is a strategist? You know that, right? Our president. So, let's go.
Okay, so unfortunately for this crop of politicians, Buhari is not a mainstream politician. He's not even interested in politics. I don't know. I think it's just a matter of courtesy that they want to be seen to be visiting prominent people, especially former heads of state. Babangida's house used to be a mecca of some sort, like in the past. But being the fact that this is APC, all right, the first statesman or chieftain that they have, former president, the first former president of APC is Buhari himself. So Buhari has replaced or taken the position of Babangida in PDP and Obasanjo, as the case may be, right? So, but unfortunately for all of them, we know Buhari's, we know his style. We know he's not clearly into politics like that, deep one. And he can't even bother himself, because even whilst he was in power, right, he was able to say any state he goes to, you go like, look, vote for me and vote your conscience when it comes to your governor. He wasn't, even when the APC governor will be there, he won't strictly say vote for the governor. He will tell you, after voting for me, vote your conscience. Anywhere you like, vote. And I've never seen any politician in Nigeria the way the crop of people we have today playing politics. Everybody will want to protect, whether they like it or not, play the game the way it's supposed to. But he is the only person that played it differently. And then, if you also look at his towards the twilight of his tenure, he showed that he wasn't really interested in supporting Bola Tinubu when the election was on. Okay, I mean, he wasn't really interested. He backed another person. Given all of that, when he left, the rug was pulled right, across his face, and then he couldn't really understand what happened. He just went back to Daura to relax. Now he's in Kaduna. Meeting him is just for the cameras. They are not nothing. There's nothing that will come out of it. They know that. They just want to be seen to be fraternizing with people like him. Whether or not, look at who said that El Rufai has always had endless respect for Buhari, the same Buhari that he betrayed. You understand? Whilst Buhari was supporting Ahmed, he was supporting Bola Tinubu. So they were cross purposes, but this is politics. El Rufai feels that he's a better politician, and therefore anything he says, the media will capture it, and then it goes like that. But meeting Buhari really wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't change anything for me. It wouldn't change anything.
So Miss, can you hear me, sir? Would you like to jump in on that?
No, bring that back.
Can you hear us?
All right. Let me just come in here. You see, there's something we a lot of us need to understand about Buhari. In the north, to the Kalawatas, Buhari is a savior. Buhari is a saint.
Even with how badly
I am telling you, you need to understand.
They became hungrier in his administration more than good.
You need to understand the mindset of the Northerners.
They
are not. Their mindset is different from your own mindset and the mindset of the Southerners. In the north, once the Kalawatas recognize you as their leader, it takes miracle for them to abandon you. I am telling you. If there's an election tomorrow, note it down, and there's a candidate that does not belong to APC, and Buhari goes to that state to lift up the hand of that candidate, no matter the party that person belongs to, go and write it down, that candidate will win. Because the North, the Kalawatas have what we call heads mentality. Once they follow you like cow, they know they look back. I have benefited from it when I was the first ANPP secretary in Abuja. It was a merger between UNPP and APP then that gave birth to ANPP. I was my political godfather then is late Chief Edwin Umezioke. So it was his own faction that merged with the faction of SARS, Senator Ali Modu Sharif, to form ANPP. I was the first secretary in Abuja then, and I know how the election was won. So all you need to do is to have that man that the North believes in. No matter what he has done to them, the North believes so much in Buhari. The Kalawatas, the elites do not. The educated are not. But you see the Kalawatas, they are the ones who go to vote. It's just like in the South. The big men in the South don't vote. They sit in their houses on election day, drinking beer and eating whatever they want to eat. It is the ordinary masses that go out to vote. And because it is the ordinary masses across the entire country, that is why we have not been able to get a leadership that resonates and reflects who we truly are. You can't have a country with 200 plus million people. You have doctors, you have scientists, you have engineers, yet those who have been leading you, some of them don't even have school certificate. Some of them, the school they graduated from was not even in existence when they graduated. So these are issues. So when you see the likes of Atiku, you see the likes of El Rufai, and all of them going to Buhari, they are going because of the fact that they know that he controls a lot of people, a lot of Kalawatas in the north. And in the north, they know the people who vote. It is not somebody dressed like a Canada who vote in the north. He doesn't have time to go and vote. It is the Kalawatas, those guys who stay under the cold, under the sun, carrying plates. Those are the people that the Malams will indoctrinate and tell them, say Baba, and they go out there and do the say Baba, and that is it. So until we have a system where our northern elites, our northern elders who are educated, put more energy in educating the young people in the north, making them politically aware, making them understand the rudiments of good governance, you will keep having people who in your eyes of you and I from the south are failures, controlling those in the north. And that is a big problem. It's a very, very big problem. So we need to have a system where the Kalawatans are educated, they are informed. But as long as they remain illiterate as they are, I am telling you, the worst man in the north will control them.
Hey! Now, talking about the worst man in the north, there was a story, I don't know if I sent you that story, about one particular man, this is according to an exclusive, how a senior civil servant, convicted already for corruption in Niger State, was mysteriously released from prison just 2 weeks after his sentencing. He was given about 7 years sentence. So 2 weeks later, he was released from prison and continued receiving full salary throughout the supposed duration of imprisonment.
Precious, what is mysterious about it? No, hold on. Let me say that my intelligence is misbehaving. What is the mystery behind it? After all, this is a country where a senator was in prison and was receiving salary and came out of prison and continues as a senator. When the head is rotting, the body is useless.
What kind of a country are we
in? The law that applies in the north does not apply in the south.
It's a normal thing, man. It's a normal thing.
That is the truth. Yeah, what you consider as law, what you consider as integrity in the south, it does not apply in the north. Anything goes. Is it not in the same north that you are reintegrating and rehabilitating Boko Haramis, terrorists?
Your best state have just said that they're going to
but yet you have boys who were arrested from the southeast. You call them IPOB, you call them ESN. They are languishing in prisons. You have Nnamdi Kanu that was abducted from South Africa to Nigeria. He is still in detention up to now. So it means that somebody like Nnamdi Kanu cannot enjoy that reintegration and rehabilitation. So you have two laws operating in this country. And until we are open and sincere to ourselves, let me tell you, the only thing that will save Nigeria is that we must sit down to renegotiate Nigeria. If we don't sit down to renegotiate Nigeria, we will wake up one day and there will not be a Nigeria for us.
Okay, so Mr. Kenobi and Prince Francis Chilaka, are you saying that it's a normal thing in Nigeria for somebody to be convicted of a crime and given 7 years sentence, and then that person just spent less than 2 weeks in prison? Even while the person was in prison, the person was receiving salary, and then the person mysteriously finds himself out of prison, and the 7 years is cut out without an official court judgment, nothing like that. The person they roam about. You say a normal
when you have vested, it's a normal thing. It's a normal.
It also happen when it's a poor man involved, or only if somebody wait there.
So
what kind of a country are we in now?
No, this country is about interest. When it's a vested interest, right? The country is sold to those who have been able to redefine what interest is, and that interest revolves around power and money. And then with power and money can control, right? And you see, it cuts across. Let me expand it by saying that institutions that rule the Nigerian people, be it government, be it religion, be it tradition, be it anything, you would see how those who control that space tend to behave, and then tend to behave like they are above the law. who created the law and what is law meant to achieve. So you find that even when you didn't talk about the Sharia law, talking about religion now, have you ever seen any big person that has one arm or two arms are cut off? No. Because you
So
know
the
they
Sharia
catch
law
them.
only poor people in the courts.
Everybody, Sharia law, religious laws are meant for the poor. Government laws are also meant for the poor, at least in the Nigerian situation. That we
I
know.
was even going
So,
to mention Sharia law in this conversation. You know why I was going to mention it? Because the man is the man, let me kukuma tell you, he's a Muslim, Mr. Umar Farouk. He's a Muslim.
yes.
So if he's a Muslim, no vex, no vex, no vex. Is Islamic religion not supposed to be against corruption? Now, this man, Omar Farouk, is a deputy director in the Niger State Ministry of Land Transportation. And he was convicted and sentenced to 7 years imprisonment by the High Court in Mina for bribe and also 11 million naira bribe from a contractor.
You were here when
7 years.
you were here. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Is it not supposed to be a crime? You know that we say that people, because we're very religious people, so people when they're very religious, suppose not say they uphold good character, good morals. Morality they different from religion to religion, or
it was
non-religion. I don't understand.
See, it was I think it's what was that? Who is that? Otto von Bismarck. Okay, that said, quote, religion is created for the poor so that they will not kill the rich. Napoleon Bonaparte also says something like that. Now, if you look at religion, the creation of religion, if we talk about religion, right? It's all a way to keep the poor down, as in keep them perpetually down so that they won't be able, because you see, these things are creation of man. Man created religion, man created the legal system, man created everything. So first and foremost is to their own advantage. And we're looking at Nigeria. We're not, if you're looking at elsewhere where the law seems to be equal, like it has this equality where at least from time to time, the big people, if they fall short of the law, you see them being dragged in court and then they eventually will go to jail or lose all the things they have and all of that. It happens elsewhere, but you see, Nigeria, Africa, we haven't gotten to that level. The big people who created the law are still using the law brazenly, for themselves against the poor people. So that's why I said it's a very normal thing. If anybody called that, oh, it is like an eye-opener, this is a breaking news, it's surprising. No, it's not surprising to people like us because it's a very normal thing. In fact, in the past, people that used to go to jail up until today, I know one man that went to jail. He was jailed for 11 years. 2 years down the line, I saw him somewhere in VI here. I went to eat and I saw him at the back end of the restaurant. He was eating different kinds of food. He was supposed to be in jail. The record shows that he's in jail, but he came out to eat like he's been relaxing. Okay, but his days are counting and all that. It's been happening right from the days of Ajud. Back in the day, they put people in the Ikoyi prison, they are not there. People will stand in for them, or it's on record that they are there, but they're enjoying themselves somewhere. So the fraud system, it didn't start today. So if you see that the guy was jailed for 7 years, all right, and then they told us that he was doing business with the Attorney General of the state, or the chief law of the state. So you can only imagine how the person will use his own powers and connect to be able to bring him out, because they were in business together. This is all about interest. You understand what I'm saying? And like he came out, people would talk and gossip. You can't do anything more than just gossip and then you go to bed. Because Nigeria has gone to a level where bad things happen. Whilst you're wondering, another one will happen on top of it. You will leave that one and then you're dealing with. So many things keep happening. When I saw the news, I wasn't surprised because it's a normal thing. And you can see that they said they smuggled his name into names of people that got amnesty from, or pardon from the past administration. He came out. So you begin to wonder the level of inequality in our system. All right. Some people didn't even do anything, but they've been in awaiting trial for over 25 years. Nobody talks about their cases. Okay. Normally they're supposed to be human beings, but you can only see that they are less human. They're even less, they're even treated like less animals than anybody can ever imagine. So it's a society that we live in. It didn't quite surprise me at all. It didn't.
Okay, so let me just go to another matter. So still talking about religion now, since we have a lot of bits to say about religion. Did you know that earlier today, an Islamic cleric, not even subtly, defended death penalty for whoever changes religion? Now, so the reason why this is important is because Nigeria is supposed to be a secular state. By a secular state, it means that we're a country where we can practice any religion. We don't have a particular religion of our own, right? Or the country has not adopted any religion as its official religion. That is to say that we're neither a Christian state, nor a Muslim state, nor a traditional state. We're neither of them. Now,
that's on
so
paper.
Awesome. So in the situation like this, right, you now say that anybody who changes religion can die. And that is the interpretation of the Quran. Because there was an argument about the hadith. Okay, so let me quickly just jump in on that because it's a sensitive issue so that it doesn't look like, quoting by myself. So an Islamic cleric and the national chairman of the Council of Ulama, Dr. Ibrahim Jalingo, has endorsed death penalty for religious faithful who renounce their religion. In a strongly worded statement shared on his official Facebook page yesterday, Thursday, Jalingo openly defended a hadith prescribing death penalty for apostates and accused critics of hadith literature of what he described as compounding ignorance. Bottom line, they were having an argument about sections of their Islamic literature and all of this. While some people said that no, Prophet Muhammad would never have supported anything that's got to do with death penalty for anyone or stuff like that. And then he tried to defend that going by XYZ literature of Islam, that it is correct. And my question is, should that be tenable in a secular state? I don't want to say should that be tenable even in a non-secular state, because ordinarily I would have said that as a human being, even if I was in any other state, shouldn't I have the right to feel like if I was practicing Christianity today and I feel like I don't understand this Christianity, okay, I want to be an atheist. I don't want to believe in Christianity again. I don't want to believe in anything. Should human beings not have that right to believe in whatever they want to believe in? Why should a death penalty, for somebody who decides to live a particular religion be a thing? And nobody is calling anybody to order about it. So that means people can really get killed if they leave their religion. Let me let you jump in on that very quickly.
Okay, so religion is a very how will I put it now? It's as much as it's sensitive, people made it very sensitive. People made religion very sensitive. Of course, man created religion, but because of the emotion that is attached to religion. So there is usually this misunderstanding and non-tolerance around religious, discourse, especially for those who are into fanaticism, if you know what I mean. Like now, you see that
most
a lot of people
practitioners in Nigeria are fanatics.
Exactly. So again, if you look at where this religion came from, for instance, you look at say Islam. Okay, the Shiite Islam. Okay, the Shiite Islam came from Saudi Arabia. The one Iran is also propagating, which is the Shiite Islam came from Iran. The Sunni Islam came from Saudi Arabia, right? And then Saudi Arabia will tell you that their own religion is a religion of peace. And if you also look at Saudi Arabia, you see that it's a very peaceful country. And I tell you what, the tolerance around religion, Saudi Arabia that built the emirate that you have today, talk about the Dubai, talk about the Abu Dhabi, talk about other cities that they are building around the emirate space. are very tolerant. How did they arrive at that? When they were a little bit extreme to say, look, we are ruled by Islamic tenets, and anybody that comes here, it became very stringent, such that people were not interested in visiting Saudi Arabia. They decided to build new cities to beg people to say, come, we need you now. We are kind of tired of staying alone. And in needing people of diverse culture, diverse religious interests, diverse ethnicity, and all of race and stuff like that, they had to accommodate their own interests. So what they did was to lower, in fact, the new cities that they built, they were able to relax the laws to accommodate everybody. In fact, the sheikhs and what are they called? Like the head of those states and
So
stuff in Dubai,
sheikhs,
sheikhs,
okay.
right? Good. They were able, like the Dubai sheikh was able to build different churches, okay, by himself. For those who are of Christian faith, when they come, they will have the liberty of, going to churches and being free and all of that kind of stuff. That is the reason why Dubai is thriving
So that means
today.
it's not a problem. So that means it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
It's not a problem because they own the
So
religion.
they
They
have
needed
religious
to
tolerance.
liberalize the whole
It's
thing.
not a problem.
Exactly. Today, Dubai is after New York and Atlanta, okay, having the biggest influx of passengers in a given year. Dubai takes the third, sometimes second. Not even Heathrow, London, not even any other, or not even Shanghai. Dubai takes sometimes second or third of the most city that people travel to. In a year, they could record up to 11 million people or more. Do you understand? So because people are free to practice whatever religion and free life that they have, they go to Dubai. Who created that? These are pure Islamic people, because they needed people to come around. Now, coming down to what we have here, the proponent and the adherents of the religion, are the ones now making it look like they know the religion more than those who owns it. You understand? And I don't
From where they
blame,
borrow from.
exactly, I don't blame people. I blame those who teaches them and what they teach them. It's almost like Saudi Arabia has gone 100% in terms of modernizing their religion, but the ones they practice here are still like 17th century type of religion. You understand? And they are not even interested in modernizing it.
Can you hear
Even
me,
as
sir?
we speak, it's on record.
Can you hear me?
That I can hear you.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir. Yes, very
Good.
well, crystal clear.
Even as we speak, Saudi Arabia, in quotes, I have like 3 people from Nigeria who are in Saudi Arabia today. 2 are doctors. One is an IT specialist. You understand? They are living in Saudi Arabia, living a very good life. Nobody harasses nobody. So what we have here is something that will keep bugging the mind, that somebody says, oh, if you change from one religion to another, it amounts to death penalty, and people will want to defend it. So you'll be wondering what kind of teachings, what kind of religious teachings do they listen to? What kind of how do they understand religion? They make religion look like it's cast on a stone. You can't change anything. So it's really very dangerous, and it doesn't make anybody that is practicing this kind of religion and the way they are doing it, that region, that person, the region, the state may not be able to grow based on what the world is like today, because the world is growing so fast. Certain things you used to know or that you're practicing, there is need to always try to modify or modernize it a little bit to be able to accommodate what today's Israeli is talking about. Why will anybody Why will everybody have the right for, religious freedom is there. You can change from one to, it's your life. It's your life. Everybody is allowed to have faith.
There was already an issue that, though it's a secular state, but a particular religion was mentioned a couple of times in our constitution.
I don't want you to always refer to Nigeria as a secular state. In practice, Nigeria is never a secular state. And because reality is more, is what we should be able to, what are we practicing? What happens in our land? It's not what is in the book. How many people knows that you can only read it that Nigeria is a secular state in our book, in our constitutional book, but in practice, what do we see?
So you're saying that from all indication, Nigeria is just a pure Islamic state that is just a slightly
from all indication. Are you still reading that?
Prince Randy is still like, oh, yeah, me, no. I don't know what I hear your brother.
I saw the indication.
The truth of the matter is that we have not been able as a people to define what we want in this country. The unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. That person is not ready to have a country. Your constitution says Nigeria is a secular state. But what happens during the elections? What happens when people have been appointed into offices? You will now realize that it's either you're a Muslim or you're a Christian. And unfortunately, the two major religions in this country are both deceiving themselves and the people. You have in Christianity, people will tell you, if you're not born again, they say do not be equally yoked with someone. And they don't understand the meaning of that. Nigeria is the only country where people fight for their gods instead of the gods fighting for themselves. This is the only country where you see people fighting for their gods. And you ask, if your God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, why are you fighting for that God? Why are you fighting for that God that is everywhere? Why are you fighting for the God that does not have physical being? So something is wrong with our thinking and the mindset of those who are leading these religious institutions. Something is wrong with them. They're not thinking straight. They're not thinking out of the box. So what they have done over time is to use religion to hold the people down and enslave the people. It is religion that will tell you, a man who has not gotten a school cert, a man who has never written an application in his life, a man who has never learned any trade in his life, religion will tell you that you will become a millionaire tomorrow and you will shout amen. Is that not insanity?
Spiritual bank accounts, alerts. You receive supernatural alerts.
That is fraud. That person should be arrested. That person should be arrested. The man who said that if you jump from one religion to another, you should be killed, should be arrested.
That is the problem. So
we need to have laws and institutions that work, devoid of who is involved.
So that's why I raised this conversation. So in an ideal society, should that be said and then the law enforcement agencies will look the other way without holding him accountable for what he said? Because many people
that is why I said that we have two different laws operating in Nigeria. We have laws for the northern states. We have laws for the southern states. Then when you come down again, you have laws for southwest. You have laws for southeast. You have laws for south-south. You have laws for north-central. Everything is just, there's total confusion everywhere. Confusion everywhere. That is why your national security advisor came out and said, don't pay money to bandits. Don't pay money to kidnappers. Don't pay money to terrorists.
You're enabling them when you do that.
And then your DG, the DG of SSS comes and tells you, you must protect yourself. You must protect yourself. Meanwhile, the people you're asking not to pay ransom to are killing those that have kidnapped. So who do we follow? Do we follow the man that says don't pay? Do we follow the man that says arm yourselves and protect yourselves? Or do we follow the bandits that will say you cannot enter your farm until you pay a levy?
Okay.
You saw the governor of Borno State coming out to tell you that and they're losing the war in his state.
Yes.
Since bandits and federal government thought it wise to set up an inquiry, suddenly, because of some hunters, so-called hunters who go to Port Harcourt, River State, and also have a forest, that is where people are going to say they are hunters. And then they're going back after hunting. They should have told us that they went to hunt human beings. So after hunting the human beings, they're going back to their destination to go and share the money. And unfortunately, they get killed, which nobody prayed for, which nobody's happy about. But now the government is setting up inquiry. Meanwhile, people are being killed in Jos every day. People are being killed in Benue every day. People are being killed in Enugu State every day. Why has the federal government turned a deaf eye? Why have they closed their eyes to it? This is the marginalization and segregation going on in this country. And that is
now speaking about this,
why it is difficult to have a country that we can call our own today.
Speaking about this marginalization, the IPOB today,
we think it is a joke. The predictions of Nnamdi Kanu is coming true. And it is true.
I was going to go
Nnamdi Kanu said these things. That the way Nigeria is going, that we will one day wake up and find out that these so-called headsmen, these so-called bandits have overrun the country. And we're gradually slipping and going to it. And everybody's smiling. It is not my business. Government is behaving as if they don't care. But there is danger looming ahead. And then somebody with common sense is telling you, if I decide today to become a Muslim, then they should kill me. If I decide...
Oh dear, your network will not let you.
Tomorrow from being a Muslim to become a Christian, I should be... I mean, what level of idiosyncrasy is that? That's idiocy. That's it.
Unfortunately, your network will not let you. We can't hear you very well. But Mr. Kenobi, I was going to go exactly to that point that he just raised, because today, Mapa Aforin, the Secretary General or Publicity Secretary of IPOB, Comrade Mapa Afo, released a statement saying that there should be an unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, because some of the things that the federal government is holding him for, which they claim that he did wrong, are already coming to pass. The group emphasized that some of these issues Kanu raised years ago regarding rising insecurity and political shifts in the country have manifested, reinforcing the need for a national conversation on the future structure of Nigeria. Now, the group, preferred past broadcasts by Kanu dating, the reference past broadcast, I think by Kanu, dating, I think as far back as 2014, in which he reportedly predicted increased insecurity and political development, including the rise in activities of armed groups across various regions. In fact, they said the recent events in Nigeria reflect what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu had long warned about: his concerns about insecurity, national disunity, and the marginalization of various ethnic groups have continued to unfold, the statement read. And he said IPOB further reiterated its long-standing position about the structure of Nigeria should be renegotiated, arguing that the forced amalgamation of diverse ethnic groups into a single nation has led to persistent conflict and underdevelopment. So do you see Nnamdi Kanu here in this context as a prophet who saw all of this? And do you believe that perhaps because some of the things that he spoke about is happening now, just like what you mentioned about insecurity and headsmen almost taking over most forests, as it were. So if those things that he mentioned that they're holding him for, it's now happening, is it not fair that he's released?
Okay, so yeah, okay, so it might be surprising to you, right? To us, that he mentioned this in the past. He actually almost like outlined everything that he predicted will happen, and then they've been happening. But see, the difference between what we heard and what is happening is that the people that are enabling or that started, because you see, insecurity started somehow by politicians. Okay, insecurity started somehow by politicians. I was in.
How did it start by them somehow?
Yeah, during the first Boko Haram that broke out by Yusuf guy, right? Yeah, that was killed. I was watching that when the police killed him. I think I was in England at the time. Yeah, I was just watching, and then I saw that I
No.
remember his
Before
first
he
name.
was really killed, he was killed a couple of times before he was really killed. So which of his
No.
alias?
I mean the first guy, the Yusuf guy, not
Okay, not
the
Shikau,
first guy that
not
broke. I
Shikau.
think 2011.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Good. That was killed with his boys. All right. They even killed a lot of his boys, and a few, got missing. It looked like the police had done the job. They were even, tapping themselves on the chest that, look, we've done the job. Where are they? Who are they? And all of that. The few that ran away went and disappeared for 2 years. Nobody heard from them,
And
and
came
then
back
they
reinforced.
gradually went to connect with other bigger organizations. They went to rearm, regrouped, and then when they bounced back, the real Boko Haram, the real terrorism started.
Hmm.
You understand? But it was all around during Jonathan, to be able to cause problem. And their backers then, we were told, were politicians, to the extent that Jonathan, made allusion to the fact that, look, Boko Haram had infiltrated his government. You understand? At the time, do you understand when what's that his name? The NS, the was it NSA or chief of army staff? The guy from Bayelsa, Owe Ozazi, right?
Okay, Azazi. Hmm.
He's very good. Was in charge. So what I'm trying to say is that Nnamdi Kanu predicted all of these things, but the region where this insecurity was coming from, remember, they had already planned to put in their people in different departments of government. Gradually, it was a strategy that they used. The reason why when Nnamdi was shouting that, it looked like he was a lone voice in the wilderness. Because for a serious country, if you give that kind of revelation, a serious country would take it up and then try to put systems that would not allow that to happen or to even germinate. Do you understand? And grow. But we're all here in Nigeria when Boko Haram started, then it continued to grow and have branches. And before you know it, different other groups started coming. Today we have ISWAP, we have La Kurawa, we have different groups. You understand? Not just in the north, the south has also copied from the southeast to south. Different groups have really taken up the entire space. You understand? So because I mean, when the people of the south saw that the guys perpetrating this whole heinous act in the north, nothing was happening to them. Okay, people now adopted styles that would make it look like when they act, you can easily hold Boko Haram responsible. They were using their pattern to also today
Operate.
everywhere is charged up that we don't even know who to hold responsible, including my village. The level of militias and criminality that is going on in my village, you don't even know who is who. They wear different uniforms. You can even run into a group thinking it's a police group that can save you. You don't know they are a different, lethal group. They can kill and bury. Nobody will know who killed you. So this is where we are today. That Nnamdi said that, and then it wasn't taken serious. It's a revelation, all right, for a person that doesn't understand what is going on in the country. But for people like us, it's not so much of a revelation, because if you reveal something and the government of the day decide to look the other way as if it didn't matter, and then things started from point A to point Z, where things have gone really, really bad, how would that now become a revelation? So you really can't give him credit, because they knew what he was saying, but the planners of such evil were doing it without any form of encumbrance. They were not disturbed by the government of the day. And today, things have gotten out of hand. So really, for me, it's not a revelation anymore. Anybody who is looking like, not the kind should collect credit. Yes, he did a very good job in a very civilized country that understand and know how to protect and maintain their national security, they would have taken that up. But unfortunately, the people at the helm of affairs, like I said, these people started by planting their men and their women everywhere. So those who you think they're supposed to take action against the same people, majority of the people are there. I mean, in most cases, the reason why they didn't take any form of action. Yeah.
So that means they're supposed to just release them, because I mean, what do they hold them for? You're not really day true. But make we quickly jump into this subtle issue with Kasim Shettima and the presidency. What do you think is going on? There are lots of gossip going around. The first time we heard, we said, initially we had heard that Shettima is saying, hey, Sheyi Tinubu is not the vice president, going from state to state. He's not doing my job, Sheyi Tinubu. Then after that one, we now heard the fact that, he's been silenced. He just, they just box and put for one corner. What do you want? No builders, or take 21 billion naira house. Just keep quiet. Hush. Then we later heard that he's not even staying in that house because of fear of insecurity. Because he feels maybe the house they wired up, and anything in talk, you understand, go feel leak. And I got people let me this so you don't even feel stay for the house. So even the house who spent 21 billion use renovate for him. When we spent 21 billion to renovate for him, he's not even staying there per se. That's the gossip. It's allegedly, make I talk about the street palace. Sorry, the social media palace. Allegedly that he's not staying there because he doesn't trust that the house is safe in terms of maybe some wirings and all that. Yeah, like maybe bugged, as it were. So now we don't come to hear other things and other issues them where they happen. Now we hear say problem really fit day. And say Shettima never really come out since they talk. Now we hear say the president they think of doing away with them. We don't hear that thing. Like months back, APC don't deny him. Presidency don't deny and say no problem between them. Now we don't hear again say there may be likelihood of the president picking an Akume, who is from Benue State and is currently the SGF, the Secretary to the State Federation, or a Dogara, former, what do they call it now? Former speaker, who is also from the North, but is a Christian. Now, the choice of these two people is because they're both Northern Christians. One is the Middle Belt, one is, I think, Northeast. Yeah. So both of them are Northern Christians. So it be like, say, the president, they look like, say, the 2027 or even before 2027, it be like, say, the Northern Muslim ticket don't cast. So, be anything to fly again. Maybe go fly for them for 2027. So he's looking at getting a Northern Christian to join him in 2027. Do you think that this is true? This rumors may be true. You know how rumors, they go around, they go deny them, rumor go around, they deny them. Later, it will become true. So do you think that this particular rumor, you think say any atom of truth there inside? You follow for those rumors where atom of truth did it?
Okay, so make we look critically, yeah. So when you see how Nigerian politics they be, you will see that when you win one, if you win one, you will feel relaxed and see how things they go. Okay? And then you will see talk here, gossip here, people talk there, this quarter here, and all of that. The likelihood of repeating same person, okay, same person, same strategy, same method might just not be there if you look at different calculations and permutations and all of that. That's how it works. Now, this is the first time in the Nigerian political experience in terms of the practice that we used two people, president and vice, that are from the same religious persuasion.
Faith. Yes.
And it looked like something that was not going to happen, but it did happen. One way or another, they pulled it. Whether it's through anywhere, they just pulled it. Today, they're there. That on a normal day would be an issue again in second term on its own. So they wouldn't want to have.
Are you saying that if the reverse were to be the case, that it was a Christian ticket, that it wouldn't have happened at all?
No, the same thing. The same thing.
It wouldn't
the same thing because the backlash was very strong and was very it was sustained. It wasn't just it was strong and sustained. It could only be somebody like Bola Tinubu that could have pulled that kind of that kind of string. He did. It was a very high risk. He took it, but it worked for them. Second term,
did it really work for them if the election was not rigged as people were saying it was rigged?
That's what I'm saying. It worked for them. That's why I said anyhow they're there today. I just jumped that discussion. I didn't want to go through whatever. It worked for them. Today, he's there. Kashim Shettima is there. 2027 will be looked at from different angles. It is very easy to remind them that, look, Muslim ticket can't fly. It can be a very big task. So for people to talk less, it's just like what happened, like I told you, what happened to Mahmood now. Kashim Shettima had the baggage of Muslims. So it's very easy to toss him to the corner and then get the right person to fill into that space so that people will talk less. Because you see, what the government don't want is a situation where they create too many problems around themselves and people will give people opportunity to begin to talk negative about them. They already have too many negative things to hear from people, from economy to insecurity to hardship and everything. Too many bad things to talk about. So the earlier they begin to discount certain things and minus certain things that would make people talk less in 2027, the better for them. It's a strategy. So Kashim Shettima, and by the way, he doesn't have much relevance, by the way, in the whole entire arrangement. So he has had his own fair share of 4 years, which is a good thing. Nobody will want to have headache on his own account in 2027. So it's very, and vice presidentship in Nigeria is usually like a spare tire. So there is need to just toss the person and then bring in so that they will have, less headaches from that politics and political practices and arrangements and all of that. Let it be that the things that they couldn't do right, which ranges from economy to insecurity to hardship, to let people, that one, they can't do anything about it except the promises that they are going to now make new. That will depend on how people look at them. So I think they are trying to correct certain things that was hitherto a headache. And then they don't want to entertain that now. So if Kashim Shettima seeing that, they need to, put him by the side, it's already going to happen. It's not surprising to me because in politics, those are the things, one should be able to look at. After 4 years, people will have to look at how relevant are you. If they use you the second time, are you going to pull the same weight? If you can't pull such weight, there is there's a likelihood, for you to be dropped to be there. So what is happening, he knows. And like I said, in the scheme of things, he's really not.
Are you saying that Shettima did not pull the desired weight?
He did when he did 2023, but not same now. He can't pull that same thing now. 2027 is going to be more difficult.
Are you saying that Yakubu Dogara has more political weight?
I haven't even mentioned Yakubu Dogara because, you are the one that said that. Any other person may come on board, towards the when we are getting close to the election, when things start to happen. But at the moment, I think they are going to replace him to put in a Northern Christian there to balance the equation, at least let people talk less. That I know.
Okay.
Because it's a way of reshuffling and recalculating and doing all of, just to be able to, present themselves as new, something that people would just look at and say, okay, not bad at all. Let's see how that can go.
Okay, all right. So let's quickly jump in on this Idris Abdul Karim's conversation so that I can let you go. Now, human rights organization Amnesty International and so many other bodies have condemned the recent decision by the National Broadcasting Commission to ban Nigerian rapper Idris Abdul Karim's his new song "Tell Your Papa," labeling the move as a clear violation of the right to freedom of expression and access of information. Now, they said this in a press conference. The National Broadcasting Commission blatant, in fact, they banned the music, saying that it's, when the ban is not NTBB means not to be broadcast. So they labeled it not to be broadcast for solely being critical of the government and people in power. In fact, NBC is saying that that is an abuse of power and it's unacceptable. But we do know what an abuse of power can look like in Nigeria. But looking at the lyrics of the song, I don't know whether you've heard it. Is there anything wrong with what Abdul Karim said? Where he said, make sure you tell him, Papa, say people they hungry. Make it people tell him, Papa, say people they die. Abi, na lie? Or is it an insult? In Nigeria, is it an insult to tell an elder that what is the reality of situations in the country? The other time, Idris Kukuma sing Nigeria Jaga Jaga. Obasanjo tell and say your Baba Jaga Jaga, your Mama Jaga Jaga, your village people Jaga Jaga, everybody, your family Jaga Jaga. You understand? Okay. Now you don't sing that one now. Come on, trouble.
No. The problem with Nigerian, those who rule the country, is that they are abhorrent to simple truth, and they don't like to be told the truth. And the truth is you're ruling over people and they're not asking for too much. I mean, what is government? Government exists anywhere in the world for the people. The reason for government, especially even if it's military, government anywhere in the world is for the people. So if the people hand over their sovereignty, partial sovereignty to you, to say go and represent us, and you go there knowing that I used to tell people, everybody should be politically aware and knowledgeable, because politics rules people's lives, our lives. If politicians use political vehicle to get into government, they are there to represent the people. So you have the House of Representatives, different people that vie for different offices. They are there to represent the people and do good and secure people's lives and properties and stuff, like make their lives better through policies and stuff. So if people don't understand politics to that extent, and then they leave it in the hands of politicians now take it to a different level, where they now begin to use that to manipulate the people. So when the people are suffering, they don't understand where their suffering is coming from. For those who are of Christian faith, goes to church on Sundays to go and pray to God, who is also expecting them to have sense. Have sense and know where your problem is coming from. You don't need to pray to me. You understand? Because when you can't pay house rent, you cannot eat, you can't feed your family and all of that, you're not supposed to talk to me. Look at where your problem is coming from. So this whole misalignment and things happening, that's why the level of suffering and hardship that people face, it's almost like unending, and it's quite perennial, and it won't stop if people continue the way they perceive and see things. So what Idris said, every lyrical content of that music explained in black and white what Nigerians are going through. So I don't know
which is not a lie, Abi.
Which is not a lie, and there's nothing wrong in it. But because
so is it that our government expects us to be lying? That is, they know more they talk true.
No, it's a case of when they slap you now, they don't want to make you cry. If you cry, it becomes an offense. That's the thing.
Hey.
It's just like person, see, say they make law. Say anybody who won't commit suicide, if they catch you, they will jail you.
You must
if not normal government, everything go ask, why do you want to commit suicide? Oh, I haven't collected salary. I never chop. That's why I won't kill myself.
Don't worry, go pay you for 1 year.
Do you understand? So that kind of thing, you go let you know that these guys, they are mindless. They don't care. So this kind of censorship, if they allow it to stand, but you see, it also brings me back to where NBC is acting like, of course, they are quite archaic, and they in their practice, because you see today's internet world, right? Fast-paced world, and things are happening on the internet space. Idris Abdul Karim's song comes out today. As he's dropping, the next 1 second, many hands don't touch him. They don't move him to different spaces.
Apart from that, the ban itself, go even make and they popular pass.
That's what I'm telling you now. That's why I say many hands don't touch them. Now, so if you ban them from your own platform, oh, now that one go come make the guy even blow them more.
They watch TV, they listen to radio. Now online people do. So the thing
exactly.
pass way.
So now the level where they there, the thing where they won't try to ban or even talk, the thing say now those days where they say we ban this, no. The world is like basket now. So you're pouring water. It's not coming from one space. It's coming from everywhere. Right? How did I hear the song this morning? Maybe they said they don't ban them, but at least I hear them this morning. So when they just go sit down, I beg. The world don't pass this level. The guy said the truth. Instead of you to look into what, and because they know what they are doing, that's why they are frowning at what he said. So it's akin to somebody when they slap, you cry, they send offense. Why should you cry? People they're hungry now. This is not what they voted. This is not the government. This is 2023 when people came out to vote. They voted so that their lives can be better. What they are facing now is not in tandem with what. Oh my God, I don't know.
It's crazy,
but
it's crazy.
It is what it is, man.
Let me open phone lines or release you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping in and staying this late with me to educate Nigerians, talk with Nigerians, and drop your thoughts and reactions on what is going on in our country. So I have to open the phone lines to let Nigerians jumping on the conversation too. So okay, so yeah, phone lines are open. You can just there's a link on the pinned post. There's a post that the comment that I made earlier, and the post is pinned on the comment section on YouTube. Kindly follow that comment section, follow the link, and to direct me straight to the studio where you can jump in on the conversation. Mr. Kenobi, thank you so much. I appreciate you. At the meantime, I have somebody. Thank you. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, CJ, I have you.
You too.
Hello, CJ. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Well, I'm great. How are you? Is that 100%? Is that
100%? 110%.
How are you? Go ahead, please.
I'm good. Yeah, I just listening to your program. I know. You're doing a great job, Precious.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I bet again we are catch for the message where the guy said they want to ban Idris song.
Not today. They don't ban. They don't ban them. You're coming late.
Don't worry.
To
tell them I'm releasing my own by next month. Yeah. So they're going to ban everybody together. I don't know why they think they echo back. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you very well. I didn't hear you. Can you hear me? Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you. Just that, if I talk, let's say they repeat myself.
No, maybe your sound from your end, not here. It's okay here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought you wanted to jump in on any other conversation very quickly so that I can let others do so.
Okay. Well, first of all, I heard you talking about everything we don't happen for Niger, and I would seize the opportunity to tell them one thing they will do for us now is to release Nnamdi Kanu. You understand? Because everything that man said, finally, Yorubas have come to realize that, look, the Igbos are not the problem. The real problem.
Sure? And the Igbos have realized that the Yorubas are not the problem.
Yeah. No. The Yorubas have realized that the Igbos are not the problem. And we still have some of the Yorubas as the problem because some of them still they buy into, the Fulanis. You understand? And the same people, So I really, wish they would understand and releasing Nnamdi Kanu so that the man will go scot-free. If they don't want Pam, they decide not to Pam. He deserves to be compensated, like heavily. Because this man started since, I think, 2015 or something like that, started sounding this thing. Most of the stuff that he said, that was when I started listening to Nnamdi Kanu. I wasn't his fan.
But I was like, this madman with a shout like this, that's so I've been the feel, you know. But after a while, I felt like, you know what, let me just give this man attention, hear what in they talk. His approach, the way he talks, when he talks, he commands, you know, he's very angry. So I've been a feel bad. Why this man always shout when in they talk? Always shout when in they talk, you know, they this aggressive. But later on, when I traveled, I can't they the same aggressive like him. And I understand the pain where that man been they go through, how him be they feel. Because when you go other people country, where our politicians they carry our resources go, you understand? You go wonder why Nigeria no get permanent light. This thing will not take Nigeria. It will not take these people, couple months to give the entire Nigeria 100% light. Why? Because we have the resources, everything. You know, go take them time to build good road for us. Just wickedness. You know? So, and then people there too, they manipulate the worst of our own people. You know? I call them Britain. You know? They manipulate the worst of our own people. When we have the right people who go feel come out, they go use them. So Nigerians go really wake up. You know, if they want to do whether in a revolution or protest, even protest self, I know they support. Why? Because when they want protest, they have one language. As soon as they say, "Oh, we're having a peaceful protest," I support peaceful protest. But once they say peaceful protest, I understand say that's in a rubbish. You know why? Because they don't subject them to the point where everybody's scared to say something, to air their mind. You understand? So,
okay. Thank you so much, 101%. I appreciate you. I have some messages here. People are saying that. Yeah, thank you so much. So someone here says, "Precious Nigerians must stand up for their right and defend the country from those murderers." Politicians. The question is, will you join them when they're standing up to defend the country? Because it would be better if all of us come together to do that. But I'd like to say a big thank you to you and everyone else who's been a part of the show. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. This is your first time of joining us. Please kindly click on the subscription button. Our subscription is free. It is not DSTV. You're not paying for it. It is free subscription. Oh yeah, just click on the subscription button and then like is also free.
Subscribe
now. If the rest of the so you never subscribe since. I don't believe you.
Now my first time. I just come back from work. See I'm now.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I go subscribe. I go tell everybody where they follow, subscribe. You do great job.
Why you doing like this? So please kindly subscribe, share this message, and also like this post so that YouTube can take it.
I would love it. I won't just like it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me leave you guys to retire. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. I'm coming with someone who is strong tomorrow to speak on the politics of River State. He's a lawyer and he's someone who's resident in River State and he's very sound with the politics of River State. I'll be looking at that tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting conversation, 6 p.m. tomorrow. You don't want to miss that, right? So you have to stay with us. Join us tomorrow evening as we talk about that. My name is Precious Inyi. I love you guys. Whatever happens, please protect your mental health because wahala. Now who they are alive, now carry first. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you and God bless you.